Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Faceless Strategist and welcome to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. In this video I'll be showing you where you can get all of the intels that are located within this game. There are 45 pieces. Now this is for the induction, and the first piece will be right after you arrive in this hotel. You'll have to jump over some crates. This is like the first mission, the introduction. Some Koreans will be rappelling down here. You take care of them. Then after a while you're just gonna want to head on over here, right on up to here where you get a checkpoint. Head to the right, go ahead and secure the intel. That's the first piece. Okay, the second piece of intel, right after you get out of the tunnel, you will encounter this Sakura restaurant, bar, whatever it is, and basically you're gonna want to head on inside, head up the stairs. Then you're gonna want to head on over here, and then what you're gonna want to do is just take care of some of the assholes that are around. Go up to the second floor, and it's right here on the floor. Okay, first piece of intel, right as you're pushing towards that launcher over there, you're just gonna want to head straight ahead into this waterfall. And here it is. That is the third and last piece of intel on this level. Okay, for the next level, which is called Atlas, the first piece of intel will be right after you breach this room. You're gonna go behind and go into the bathroom here, and here it is. In any case, the next piece of intel, right after you get left off here, what you're gonna want to do is just head on behind this, in this building. There we go. Next piece of intel is right after you descend down here. You're gonna want to head to the right. This is right after you completed the the grenade thing. Okay, so after you descend through the roof in traffic, the first piece of intel will be all the way over here to the left. There we go. Okay, for the last piece of for the next piece of intel, as soon as you drop it down here, basically what you're gonna want to do, this is right after the van is chasing you. You're gonna want to take a left, head on up here, keep going straight ahead, hit the vending machines, turn right, and here it is. The last piece of intel is right where you arrive near this wall here. And basically, ooh, so that's how you refill your ammo. Right after you arrive where you need to climb this wall, you're basically gonna want to take a look behind you. Okay, for the intel on the level fission, for the first one, as soon as you descend down here, you're gonna want to take a right, then another right, then basically another right. Then you're gonna head in this one, see where they line up to go into the next room. You're basically gonna head straight forward here. There's a dead guy, and there we go. And here is the first piece of intel. Okay, next piece of intel, as soon as you exit out of the elevator, you're gonna want to head straight ahead, then turn right, and here it is. Okay, the last piece of intel can be found as soon as you go critical and you exit out of here. You're basically gonna want to head straight ahead, and here is the piece of intel. In the level Aftermath, the first piece of intel can be found right after you plummet down here. You head on into this corridor and you kill the first guy. You're just gonna head to the left, and there's the first piece of intel. The second piece of intel can be found right after you exit out of here and you see Detroit New American Center. You're basically gonna want to drop down and head inside here, and here it is. There we go. Okay, for the intel, for the last piece of intel, basically as soon as you enter the hospital, head straight ahead, then head left, and here it is, the third piece of intel. Okay, manhunt. The first piece of intel is right after you take out the guy that's lying on the bed and this guy. Basically, you're gonna want to head on outside, and here it is, right on the terrace. Okay, the next piece of intel, right after you reach this area where the pure Greek thing is, you're basically gonna stick to the left, and you're gonna keep heading forward. And right in this building where it says 14 and 15, head up the stairs, then to the right. And here you will have an option to refill your ammo, and here is the intel. Okay, the last piece of intel, right after that guy gets shot. Basically, the last piece of intel can be found. So you come out of here, the sniper is shooting at you, just go straight ahead. It's right after the Ramirez gets shot, I believe. Or that other guy. Okay, for the level Utopia, for the first piece of intel, right after you start the level, turn around. Head behind, and it'll be right on over here. There we go. Okay, second piece of intel, right after you drop off, instead of heading to the right, you're gonna want to head straight ahead here. And you're gonna go past the first scaffolding. And you're gonna want to enter inside this internet cafe looking copy printer thing. And here is a piece of intel. Okay, the last piece of intel can be found right after you grapple over here, and you have these moving containers. Basically, you're gonna want to head straight ahead, jump to the left here, blow this up, and here's the last piece of intel. Okay, as soon as you use the EMP and you go down into the security system, it is right to the left here. The second piece of intel can be found right after he grapples the guy. Straight on over here by the by these old ass pistols. Okay, last piece of intel, right after he grapples off out of there, you're just gonna want to proceed straight ahead and just grab the piece of intel. There we go. Okay, level crash, first piece of intel, right off from the bat where you start off, keep heading straight forward. Eventually you'll encounter a bunch of these crates, and the first piece of intel is right on over there. That is over here. Okay, next piece of intel, as soon as you arrive to this underground location, basically just head on up here, double jump, and secure the intel. This is where he tells you to wait in order to pull the trigger. Okay, last piece of intel, right after Gideon rescues you, you're just going to go ahead and go over here. Go right behind this VTOL, whatever it is. Grab it. Okay, for the mission biolab, the first piece of intel can be found right where you actually start the level. It's right on over here in this like shack. Second piece of intel, as soon as you destroy the first sensor, you're gonna want to head straight ahead, then to the right. Go ahead and just dump that one in. You're gonna want to take to the right here, and here it is, the second piece of intel. Okay, the last piece of intel is right off where you get the door unlocked and you place the jammed sensor in. You're basically gonna want to head straight on ahead until you reach this path here where it says main prototype assembly. You're just gonna want to shoot out the walls here. And you're gonna want to head on inside and grab that last piece of intel. That's basically it. Okay, next three pieces of intel. The first one can be found right on over here. So we're just going to have to head on over here to this van. There we go. Okay, the next piece of intel can be found right on this sign that says Downtown SVO, Kirkland, and whatever the hell else it says. In order to reach it, we're going to need to boost on up here. And the last piece of intel is right off where, you know, there's a standoff between the van. Basically from this chopper to the left here is the last piece of intel. Okay, for the next piece of intel, once you jump inside this bridge here in the next level, basically as you're following them, right on over here to the right side is the actual intel. Okay, for the next piece of intel, once those cargo ships are tearing up the drones and stuff like that, you're going to need to enter one of these two. You're gonna choose the right one. Then you're gonna head to the right here and grab that piece of intel. Okay, the last piece of intel is right on over here where he tells you to target something. Go ahead and secure the intel. Okay, first piece of intel, Iraqi Financial. You're gonna want to head to the right of the bank there, and the piece of intel will be right on over here. Okay, so the next piece of intel is right after you get on over here. You're gonna want to grapple on over to the train. Then what you're gonna want to do is grapple up here. Then what you're gonna want to do is head on to the right here. There we go. Go ahead and secure that piece of intel. Next up, we're just going to grapple on back over here. Grapple here. And we're basically just gonna go back to where we were a second ago. There we go. I don't really care about the turrets. Let's go ahead and grapple down on the train here. Grapple over here. Then what you're gonna want to do is grapple up on this one. Then grapple on the top of that one. And here's the piece of intel. Okay, for the first piece of intel, right here, R5, R4, where you have these two assholes here. You're basically just gonna want to head to the right here, then to the right again, and here it is. The next piece of intel can actually be found here, where you're opening up the door. There we go, right on over here. Okay, the last piece of intel can be found right on over here, right after the Sentinel Falls. Okay, for the first piece of intel in this level, as soon as you actually get out of the water and you head on over here, you're basically gonna want to head on straight ahead. Do not turn right, and it will be right on over here. That is the 43rd piece of intel. Okay, the second piece of intel, quite literally after you collected the last one, you'll wind up in this room. And basically what you're gonna want to do is just descend down here. See, you'll have the number 7 here written on the wall. You're basically just gonna want to take care of business as you normally would. And you're basically just gonna want to head to the left here, then just break through here to this like server room. And there we go. Okay, the last piece of intel can actually be found by going over here. You're just going to knock down it, and you're just gonna head on over here, and here it is.